Hi, good morning. Welcome to Tag Yachts, and we're on the Tag 60 here in Cairns. Trevor and I would just like to chat about some of the features of the boat and what the company's about. Basic vision about the company. Our aim is to build high-performance cruising catamarans which are easy to use and accessible to a wide range of users. Obviously, typically not the first-time boat owner, but somebody that really enjoys sailing, enjoys performance sailing, but also creating an environment for those family members and friends to also enjoy the water environment and enjoy the boat in a safe and comfortable manner.
Yeah, I mean, we find with our products, what's really exceptional about the sailing performance is our light wind sailing, and with that we feel is really essential to most cruising formal families that want to enjoy the lighter winds under 10 knots and still have a performance, still able to sail between your 7 and 10 knots of boat speed in your 5 to 7 knot wind range. And that's what we're capable of doing. Keep it exciting for the sailors on board and comfortable and fun for the rest of the family that want to enjoy the elements that are offered.
Very easy to talk about performance boats, but let's just substantiate a little bit why this boat does perform so well. First of all, she's a full carbon fibre construction boat, so very stiff, very rigid, and of course very strong as well to handle the high loads excuse me, of the performance that we are able to achieve. And she's also got a very powerful rig on her, but a very easy to use rig as well, because we have hydraulic control functions. Those functions control the main traveller, main sheet, the outhaul, the mast rotation, bang, dagger boards, and our jib sheet. So all those controls are at the fingertips of the helmsman, so he can really tune and tweak the boat and enjoy the sailing without having to ask somebody else to come and winch something in or sheet out or keep tuning and tweaking. So easy to use, high performance boat. And Trevor, from about 5 knots of wind, you get sailing?
Currently right now, if we got 5-6 knots of wind, we're doing 7 to 8 knots of boat speed, which makes it a fun environment for all on board. And as Tim was saying, it's because of a certain amount of elements that we have a designer, Greg Young, who has got a really good formula that we think works well, and the combination of a good formula of a designer and a good yard to build a boat, we've got a really good overall performance. And we have a high freeboard which allows water to flow and gather momentum rather than adding resistance. And we have custom built products, so our mast, our boom, mast rotation. We have a new development using it directly to the mast from the boom. We have 8 hydraulic rams on board, so there's a lot of weight in the rams, but we're still able to keep key performance. But what that enables the end user to do is have all the controls at your fingertips. So with one person truly can sail this boat, tacking and jibing with zero assistance if that's required, or assistance if that's what you would like. So it gives the driver the ultimate control of his environment.
Okay, that's just discussing the light air performance of the boat. When we get into the heavier breeze, this boat is also capable of some very, it's got a high fun factor, let's put it that way. The boat has been designed and engineered and obviously built to fly a hull. So it's getting a bit of that beach cap performance and fun factor onto a bigger boat like this. And we're able to do this because of the power of the rig. She is an exceptional rig. But one thing I need to say as well is that on the safety side of things, we've also built in 3 independent safety systems, which any one of those systems independently reach a certain parameter. The hydraulic system will automatically ease off the main sheet, main traveller and jib sheet. So you very quickly depower the boat, but in a non-destructive manner. So it's when the system eases off, there's no shock loads in the rig or anything like that. It's not like you're dumping the power. So it gives you quite a bit of confidence that you can go and play with the boat. The system also allows you to set it up to different parameters. If you want to go have fun with the right people on board in the right conditions, you want to go fly a hull, You set the system to 100% to our sport mode, and go have fun with the right people. If it's a case where you have family on board or you're cruising and you don't want to fly a hull, you tune it down to 80%. The boat will never fly a hull then. So the 3 independent systems that we have to monitor the loads. The first is the load cell system in the rig, where we've got load cells in the shrouds, in the forestay, and even in your light air and your code 0 tack fittings. And the second system is the hydraulic pressure in the system. If that reaches a certain pressure, then automatically the system will ease out. And then thirdly, we have an inclinometer on the boat as well, which measures the angle of heel. And the boat flies a hull at about 11.5, 12 degrees, and we set the parameter to about 18 degrees. So it gives you a nice little range to play with, but once you get to 18 degrees, which really not necessary. Once you get the hull out of the water, you're getting the maximum efficiency out of it. The system then sets off an alarm, which gives you about just less than a second to either cancel the alarm and tell it, hey, I'm actually fine, I'm happy with it, I want to carry on. Or if you don't cancel it, automatically eases out those functions as mentioned before. So we've got essentially a kind of high performance sports car where you can go have fun on the racetrack, but for everyday use you've got all these safety features, so anti-traction control and stability control. So I think that's quite a nice development that we've developed in-house ourselves with Greg Young. We've been developing and using the system for a good 12, 14 years with good success and good reliability.
And I've been driving the boat for 2.5 years, and we regularly fly the hull, so to speak, and we found that most times we're only at about 12 degrees. That's all you need. It's very efficient, very exciting, and having that security and safety of this in-house development, which is linked to a hydraulic system, I think is the most essential on any boat at any time, to have a very good security and system. So that is in a sense a 24-hour a day watch that is constantly in the background. So even if you're cruising over a long distance, you put it into a cruise mode, and essentially any system comes along, any gale, any adverse weather, you know that this system is going to automatically release the pressure and keep you out of any harm's way on a 24/7.
The other great aspect about it is when you do get into weather where you start to question, should I, shouldn't I reef? We've got all the numbers there. You know exactly what the loads are in the boat. You know exactly when you're actually pushing it further than you want to, and it just makes it really simple and safe.
Because we'll have a guide as when to reef and when to sail, but as Tim was saying, we have load cells, we have values, we have numbers, and we associate that at the same time. So when those values and numbers are reached, it's almost a cue to reach the next stage, whether you need a reef or not. So and in the heavier winds, the boat is spec'd to do 30 knots. Both Tim and I have done just under 25 knots. We regularly do in the teens, from 10 to 24 knots is quite capable, and so it is very fast and sporty and safe at the same time. So we have a full range from light winds right up to the stronger winds, and we'd think that would give the client, the owner, a great diverse range of sailing, which keeps everybody essentially happy on the boat. And our system is, as we said, was unique, and we feel a very key important role.
Okay. One thing I just want to mention, it's not to blow our trumpet or anything like that, but quite often the word performance gets thrown into the equation when people talk about multi-hulls and various products. And just a couple of key features about the boat that Greg has designed into it to actually put it into a different category. As we've mentioned, a couple of technical features so far: the high freeboard, very efficient hull shape, but a very powerful rig on her as well, and that's all supported by the full carbon fiber structure. We have 17 bulkheads in this boat, which creates a very rigid structure. when you're flying a hull, you can still go downstairs and open and close doors. There's very little flex in this boat. So those are some of the key features.
Yeah.
Maybe we should just highlight a couple of numbers with regards to the rig. It's a 25.5 meter carbon wing mast, 600 by 300 cord on her. There is pre-bend built into the mast, so we've got a very nice way of being able to tune the mainsail to flatten her off, and for her to basically dump excess power by herself. It's a square top mainsail, 154 square meters. This particular boat, carbon battens, and then moving forward, you've got the self-tacking jib, 75 square meters on that.
Which is also hydraulically controlled.
Yes.
So that gives us the option of being able to tack and jibe with a single operator.
Ahead of that, Greg's added a light air head sail, which is essentially a genoa, but a genoa that moves forward, the tack position moves forward of the forestay. And this light air head sail, when sheeted in quite tight, it still gives us really good angles on the wind going upwind, and that's very useful on the light breezes. And it's also become a very good downwind sail for us. Trevor and the owner have developed a good barber hauler system on her, where when sheeted out they're getting up to about 140 degrees off the true wind and still maintaining wind speed in terms of boat speed. So that's pretty good for a cat.
And for us, we find that we're able to get to 22 degrees apparent with the jib and the main, which relates to about 40 to 45 degrees true. I find the perfect balance is about 24-25 apparent, which gives us about a 42 to 44 angle of true wind, and that's a perfect balance between speed and comfort and pointing ability. And as Tim just mentioned, off the wind, which for me is fantastic, because most people that are cruising would like to sail downwind and travel from A to B with the swell behind rather than on front. And we find that with the wind at about 140 degrees, 136 to about 142 degrees true, we have the apparent wind at 90, and with our unique and custom mast, which is a sail area of equivalent of 16 square meters, so it actually enhances the performance and takes you with the camber angles of 6 to 16 degrees, so it gives you quite a diverse bit of power to play with. And with those combined, we find that we're able to still maintain and sail downwind essentially, rather than running downwind. And this, we're able then to match the wind speed of the deck. So in 8 knots of wind, we typically are doing 8 knots of boat speed. And that's really exciting. So of course, when you're doing some slightly higher wind values and you're doing a bit of surfing, a bit of sailing, to reach your 16 to 22 knots is quite common and very quick to do. So we are able to maintain a really good average boat speed and cover good distances over 24 hours.